Nutmeg Warriors against Bayleaf Blasters in the second of a double header here this afternoon at the Lassages playing field. Stephen Swarm alongside me is Justin Hector. Should be a good game here, Justin.
Well, one anticipates that it will be.
We had a bit of a rain delay, and as to whether there will be some sort of adjustments in the over, I'm not sure. Probably won't. Match was carded to start some 16 minutes ago, so we've lost some time. And so the Nutmeg Warriors will be up front taking strike.
Dante Alexander has started for the Bayleaf. And he starts with a very wide delivery down the leg side. Big, tall, former under 19 fast bowler. Just need to warm up that big frame. So that's him. That would be leg buys. We have gone all the way for 4. Well, Benjamin, of course, not having a chance. The ball coming off the high on the tie pad. I'm going away from the wicketkeeper. And Bayleaf will be score will advance by 4. They're on to 5 for no loss. We have not yet gotten back our details on screen. As soon as we do, of course, here it comes. So 5 for no loss. And he's gone. In fact, he's gone. So that is Dejan Charles. In fact, it wasn't leg base, it was 4. After hitting a 4 down the leg side, he held out towards 2 backward square leg. A delivery pitched up just on around middle and off, and looking to take it away on the leg side. Only managing finding the fielder down on the backward or square boundary, and he's gone. So 5 for 1 Nutmeg Warriors, and again, not making the type of start probably they wanted.
Well, as almost sequentially, we're noticing that wickets are falling in the first over. And again, we're seeing it in this particular match. So, Nutmeg Warriors lost the wicket. Still early days, we're in the first over.
Yes, in the first over, bowled by Dante Alexander. He will be happy to pick up a wicket very earlier on, and of course, Bayleaf, the Bayleaf team too, will be happy that they can pick up a wicket so early on, having I think won the toss and inserted the Nutmeg Warriors to bat. So Bayleaf Blasters would have been awarded with a wicket earlier on, and of course, it's the first outing for both teams, the Nutmeg Warriors and of course the Bayleaf Blasters. Jevan Anju and Dante Alexander. Kyle Radu has come in. Jevan Alexander have not yet faced up a delivery. And Dante Alexander, who is in the early stages of his first over, but he had a wide first ball and picked up the wicket with the second delivery. Delivery which is just tucked up on the offside. So they feel that Kotoy on the offside comes in to do the fielding. And of course, Pastor, they have a fairly good team on paper. In fact, both teams are fairly balanced on paper.
I think they're rather balanced, and that's why this match is expected to be a very good, enthralling, gripping contest. Now, if that doesn't turn out, then I think it'll be a bit of a disappointment here.
Of course, the likes of Teddy Bishop.
Yeah, he pounced on that one and really hit it hard. And it went through the offside. Andrew's got a good opportunity here to do something special. Yes, just sort of clear that front foot out of the way. I think he may have wanted to hit it a slightly straighter though, but it still yielded him a boundary. So he is off the mark.
10 for 1. Oh.
Oh, he's dropped it.
Did he drop it? Did it come up back? It came off the helmet. Wow.
Did he hit? Oh, we just wondered. Oh, yeah, they're showing concern now. Let's hope that he's okay.
It struck apparently flush on the helmet. Did he get back onto it?
Just wondered whether it may have
brushed the glove.
Brushed the glove out.
He took a flush hit. And once he's the physio there, of course. Standard procedure in modern cricket where when a batsman has to go through the processes of the concussion test. I don't think he got back onto it.
He didn't get back onto that at all.
Hit him flush the side of the helmet. And it's rather comical that the fielder coming in couldn't even managed to hold on to the ball just in the case he may have gotten an edge onto it.
Oh, but that's a serious blow. And it's one of the best things that happened to cricket over the years.
Of course, Dante is a very tall man.
Yeah, he bent his back. He really bent his back. And he was late on the shot. There was some fleeting thought about hooking, but he found that the ball was coming into him. The ball snaked into him. It was not just a straight bouncer. It was pitched maybe just about off stump and came into him. And that's difficult, really. When you've got a bumper that doesn't have lateral movement, it's always easier to play. But when you get one that would come into you or probably move away slightly, that's where it becomes much challenging. It's the sort of delivery that Andy Roberts bowled. Love to get the one that would snake back. Courtney Walsh did the same thing.
And it was not a very, very short delivery. It was the back of a length, basically, and it really took off, in a sense. But again, as I said, Dante is what, about 6? What do you make Dante? He's well over 6 feet for sure.
Yeah. What, 6'2"?
Could be 6'3", more like 6'3", 6'4", maybe.
Yeah, he bent his back, though. Well, a bit of a victory. A bit of a victory there. Short outside the off stump. And Andrew was across and off the back foot. Uppercut it. Authentic shot. Down to third man for 4.
If you're going to consistently bowl this line, somebody must be around, maybe a much finer third man for the ball coming off, because the batsman will go off that, and it's most likely will go in that general area. Maybe not intentional, maybe just looking to be shot again after Andrew got hit.
14 for 1. Over number 1 completed. But I like the over. I like the aggression that was seen, and also the fact that Andrew, though hit with the previous delivery, was able to go onto the back foot and uppercut that down to third man. Certainly shows a great degree of boldness and bravery.
Yes, and recovery.
Well done. That's what cricket is all about. It's not for the faint-hearted, not for those who are short of nerves. It's for warriors. It's for fighters. It's for blasters. 14 for 1. This is
Spin on the other end, Ramnot. This is an interesting move. Is it the first time you've seen spin starting or no?
Can't remember, but I think it's a pretty brave move, considering that we had a bit of rain here too. Don't think the grass is all that dried as yet. Down the leg side, turned just behind square, and leg by, confirmed by the umpire, pushing the total to 16. So the scoring rate is pretty good. We're just into the second over. Although wicket has already gone. It's already gone.
I'm not trying to keep it as straight as possible, not allowing the batsmen to free their arms, batters to free their arms. That's so important.
Yeah, he could say that he sort of got away with that one. It was a badly pitched delivery, just about on the leg stump or a little outside the leg stump, and if he had really hit that well, could have gone over the fine leg fielder.
It was called wide as it was, and a brilliant stop. Yeah, that's who. That's Dylan Douglas, it looked like.
Yeah, that's the kind of feeling you want, and every captain will dream to have. If it had gone past him, might have yielded another 2 runs.
It's a very good bit of fielding there. What you want in that form of the game, you need to cut off every run you can cut off. Benjamin showing some good glove work behind the stumps. Was well, Benjamin, known talker. Well, he did get hold of that one.
And got hold of it well. Good carry power hit. Gone for the maximum. Nice shot. And what a wonderful way to climax the over 2 gone. It's 24 for 1.
Well, 10 off, and they'll be happy with that. 24. It's going at 12 and over. If they can maintain that rate, we're talking here about 120, 125. Of course, that should and will make for a very interesting chase later on.
Yeah, when you're playing this 10-10 game, you don't want to be dismissed or restricted to under 100 runs. I think all chases should be over that 10 runs per over. If you get up to 13, well, fine, that's 130. But having to chase in the 70s or 80s, that should be making the challenge rather simple. Oh, he lifted that in the air.
Long and it went far.
And that was well struck. It's gone all the way. Another carry power hit, maximum 6. Fine shot. You heard the sweet sound of willow and leather meeting. Beautifully executed. And it wasn't a big wallop, Justin. No. Just the timing was so great.
Indeed. Ramdo is on his way. So good to execute a shot like that early in your innings.
Yeah, that was lovely. That was really lovely. Got underneath it and lifted it. Wasn't trying to hit that on the ground, I can tell you. That was his desire, to go airborne. And he did, efficaciously, great effect. So the run rate, 13.85. Can they continue with this rate? So far, so good. They've lost a wicket, though. Makes room outside the leg stump. And tucks that one. The keeper, in fact, made a valiant effort by his signal by the umpire as the ball goes behind the keeper for 4. So it doesn't matter really how they come. once they come. That's what they say. Dante, yes, picked up the only wicket to fall, but quite frankly, he's been rather expensive. Just a 1 for 20. It's going to come from around the wicket now. He's going to move into bowl to Kyle Ramdu. Just a change of angle. Let's see whether this is going to work for him. Good start by Nutmeg Warriors. Very good healthy run rate. They would need to be consistent with that. Makes room outside the off stump. Hits that inside out. Oh, that's a fine shot. You could see him moving rather early. And that's another power hit maximum. Gone all the way for 6. That was a wonderful shot. Made room very early outside the leg stump. And boy, he hit that inside out. Wonderful. Really wonderful. Gorgeous execution. And that went, I would think, maybe about 10 yards over the boundary line.
Well, that would force Dante to to think again. He almost telegraphed it. He almost knew that is with a change of angle, he probably would be looking to be a lot fuller. And there he was, and dispatch just missing his length there, probably, Dante.
This time he hits it out to extra cover and they scamper a single. So you can see the aggressive intention here of both batsmen, actually. Both of them are in a rather aggressive frame of mind. Andrew is 14 from half a dozen deliveries. And Ramdu is 16 of 8. So they're just about the same strike rate. We're in over number 3. Ball by Dante Alexander. Lives that. High, hard. That's going. It's going. It's still going. It's gone. That's another carriacou hit maximum. Beautiful shot.
Just losing a whole of it there, and it was sort of high too. Don't know if the umpires would consider, well, they haven't bothered too much about the height. So he got away with that, but he didn't get away with the fact that it went over the boundary for 6. So he's proven to be very, very expensive, Alexander.
33 off his bowling so far. He's now back to over the wicket. Pushes that ball down to long on and would get a comfortable single. So Andrew has gone to 16 of 8. Sorry, 21 of 8. And Ramdu, 16 of 8. 3 overs gone. It's 48 for 1.
Oh, that's amazing. Very good start. So, somewhat reminiscent of the game yesterday, but probably a little better. They were maybe over in around 11 runs and over. As it stands now, it's 16 and over. With a projected score for 160. What a score for 160 would be. One of the most entertaining players, Pastor, Imran Joseph. A bull from the northern end. It's carrying a bit of a trunk lately.
Well, he would have to see how he can do a bit of redemption here for his team with the Warriors off to a cavalier galloping start. Can he really stem the tide? It's going to be a challenging task for him, but he's been around long enough to know what should be done. The run rate at present 16. Moves in to Andrew. Andrew, it's that down to the long on area and rather mid wicket and gets a single.
It's not a bad start by Joseph. He was there maybe just about off middle and off. Just cramp Campbell, Andrew for room to a certain extent. He was able to get it down towards the wide mid wicket area. Picked up a single. So 49.
Well, the
50.
adrenaline is obviously flowing within these two batsmen, and I don't see them decelerate now, really. They've got everything going for them. They're positive in intent. So keep that foot on the pedal, guys. Bowled him. Marvelous delivery. Well, Radu was making so many different movements and made that extra movement, exaggerated movement, then pull outside the leg stump. And that was a peach of a delivery,
Yes.
right up. Aimed at the stumps. He said, "You miss, I hit." Gone.
And Pastor will have to explain what the celebrations were. It sure did look animalistic.
It certainly did. They do all sorts of things these days, and all those players got their own personal
Look at it.
celebratory move.
Doesn't seem human at all.
Yes. Well, my dog is called Bacchanal, and I know that there are many individuals who criticize me for giving the dog that name. But it's the sort of thing that Bacchanal will do. And if you're into dogs, then you know what we're referring to.
What a welcome breakthrough for the Blasters. Nandu, he was going very, very well. Ramdu was going very, very well. And good breakthrough. And let's see how much that will do to probably stem the tide a bit. Andre Fletcher has walked to the crease. He has come in with his team, with the Nutmeg Warriors. A pretty good start. He really doesn't have to come and put his foot down immediately. Andrew is going well.
But number 4, your thoughts?
Yeah, you don't want to give him as many deliveries as I thought as possible. Probably the primary batsman in the team. You don't want him to face as many balls as he possibly can.
Wide on the leg side. Not the kind of ball you want to give a new batsman first up. You want to be on line, not spraying it on the leg side.
And as we know, Imran Joseph will have something to say to him. He can Fletcher would want to respond with the bat.
Oh, gets a bouncer. And a good aggressive delivery. Fletcher religiously genuflected. And the ball went into the keeper's grasp. Might have been some sort of verbal exchanges.
Yeah, because he's bowled what the umpire says the one for the over. He didn't feel happy about that.
Oh my God, that was a good delivery though, good aggressive delivery.
Of course.
Well bowled, Joseph. It's gonna be a good contest here.
Indeed, it will be.
Turned a full toss down to the mid-wicket area, and they will in fact come back for the second run. Bad delivery. Maybe he was just striding for the Yorker, and Fletcher just clipped it in front of square. Got 2 runs rather comfortably. 52 now into over number 4.
If he can finish strongly, it will be a fairly good over in the circumstances.
sharp single. Just pushed out on the offside. The calling was early and the response was also early. So the over comes to an end. 4 overs gone. And Nutmeg Warriors there, 53 for 2.
Not quite yet.
Not quite.
Still have a
Still one more to go. Thank you, Justin. You're a good co-pilot, aren't you?
I did say to Joseph this morning, Fletcher is going to psych you out today. Said to me,
oh, he's aggressive.
it's a no ball.
No ball this time. Well, no ball from the context. That was already
One call for the over, but it was to a different batsman. I don't know. It comes on to interpretation. Is it one bounce up or over a batsman, or is it one bounce up or over?
well.
That's the issue here.
Unless there might have been one for
The over, yes, earlier.
yeah. Just wondered whether he may have gone over the crease. I'm not sure. It didn't seem to be like that. However, no ball signaled by the umpire. Good aggressive bowling. I like this. Well, right up into the block hole, and Fletcher was meandering down the track, and quite rightly sent back there by Andrew. So 4 overs gone. It's 54 for 2.
Yeah, and a good over in the circumstances. 1 for 6. He took 6 runs in the over. That what they will take that any day, and especially a wicket to go with it. And plus, it's good to see the good old 1-2 trick, the 1-2. After a stricken bouncer, a equally good Yorker, really keeping the batsman at bay, keeping the batsman thinking. You don't see that too often in cricket these days, where you set the batsman up with a vicious bouncer, and then you got a streaming Yorker to follow that.
Yeah, I love that over, really. I found it to be one of the more dramatic ones. And he wasn't afraid, really, not intimidated, not even by Andre Fletcher. So, Calvin Blanche is brought into the attack. And he's going to be getting ready to bolt to Fletcher, who's 3 of 3, just leans on his back. Then does his usual movement, taps both pads and then the elbow and pulls at the peak of the cap. That one just smacked by Fletcher. Back pass was a flat bat smack and went down to the boundary for 4. Just stood up and smacked it. Oh.
It was a full toss, and he was asking to be hit. And sure as the morning sun, as the rising of the sun, you should say, Fletcher was going to put that away. He did so rather easily through the offside.
This time, he lifts that over the mid-wicket area, and that's gone all the way. I make it no signal by the umpire. Carriacou hit maximum 6 runs. It was a poor delivery, short onto the back foot when Fletcher and lifted it, and that went over the deep mid-wicket area. And powerful power hit 6.
64 for 2 and worrying times there for the Blasters, With Andy Fletcher starting to get going, and of course Andrew have been going pretty steadily. Really some worrying times for them. They'll have to find ways and means of pulling this back. We're in the 5th over.
Down the track, lifts that one again. That's going to go all the way. It's another carry power hit 6 maximum. This time he used his feet, got to the pitch of it. Nice little use of the feet. Not quite coming down, but stretched that left bat down and lifted it nicely over the long on area for 6. Fine shot.
Another full toss by Blash. Not being able to find his range yet. And certainly, very old. I mean, this you would want to get deliveries like that to get set in any game. And to be able to deposit them like this.
Fletcher is 19 of 6.
Well, well, well. Fletcher is gone.
But he's standing. Still, let's see whether it's caught behind.
It's given caught behind, of
Yes,
course.
might have been an on the edge. And if it were an on the edge, then it was a good catch. Oh, he stood eternity there as if to say, boy, oh boy, I'm in good nick. And I got an on the edge. Let's look at it again. They were jubilant. May have been an on
Look
the
like
edge.
a
What do you
little
thought?
deviation. One could see the ball going out to the right of the keeper, meaning that
But good
there was a
catch.
little yeah, very good catch by Benjamin. As I say, he's been doing some good work since the start of the game. Quite safe hands, and that's a big blow, a big wicket. But I think based on the start, the blast that the Nutmeg Warriors have gotten, I think they would certainly. With the dismissal of Fletcher, who had took what 16 runs in from the over so far. Breezy 16.
Might
I think
might turn out to be a crucial 16.
16 at the end of the day. They are 70 for 3, which is a good base, a good start. We're only in the fifth over. Pretty high run rate so far.
Well, it's 15. That's high. If at the end of the innings they end up with 13 or 14, it's going to be a mammoth total. Good comeback here by Blanche, who was severely treated by Fletcher. Boy, when that catch was taken behind the stumps, everybody was in high jubilation. Benjamin ran from behind the stumps and both arms were out and he was thumping the air triumphantly. Outside the off stump and dab just behind square on the offside. Single. So 5 overs gone. We're at the halfway stage. And Warriors 72 for 3. 72 for 3 with Kellis Andrew. Not out one, just a one delivery of space. And a fine opportunity for Javon Andrew, who is 23 from 12. He's got to take it from here, Justin.
Indeed. And of course, 72 for 3. And Blash was gone for 18, but the fact that you were able to dismiss Andrew Fletcher, I think going for 18, Fletcher's wicket probably would be worth far more than 18. So I think he'll be very happy. I don't think they will look at that too much, that economy rate too much. Of course, the battle continues with Joseph, who always has something to say.
Yeah, chirpy guy, isn't he? Well, if you can put action into your lyrics, that's what it's all about. Of course, there was one sporting gentleman who died several years ago in Muhammad Ali, probably one of the world's best boxers, not probably, greatest. Always spoke about what he would do and when he would put away his opponent. And in several cases, he was right, wasn't he? Whether it was against Jimmy Ellis or George Foreman.
Always able to put some teeth into the rhetoric.
Yes, that's correct. And there were other sporting icons and cricketers who didn't say much, but allowed their weapons to talk, like the great Sir Viv Richards, who really didn't say much in the great days of Dennis Lilly and Jeff Thompson, Len Pascoe, who were devastatingly quick in the mid-70s. Viv Richards did not say much. He loved the confrontation, but he allowed his weapon, which was his bat, to speak. Full toss. They're thinking about two here. That has passed the fielder down at wideish mid-off, and they will come back for the second. That's all there will be. But those were fascinating days, Justin, in the 70s when Australia ruled the cricket world and the West Indies had to play second fiddle. Back in 1975, big drubbing, 5-1. Then the West Indies came back home and Clive Lloyd got a couple of fast bowlers, went to England in 76 and demolished. And the famous "we'll make them grovel."
Yes.
What a statement. It was an ill-fated statement
Yes.
by Tony Gregg. And from March 1981 to 1995, the West Indies did not lose a series. In the air, keeper is going on the red. The catch taken, dropped. Are they going to come back for the second? Yes, they come back for the second. The fielder coming in from fine leg, and then the keeper running back. Should have been, yeah, that really should have been taken, but dropped just before.
Yes.
So
Very difficult to see Blash
Yes.
get in there.
can't blame him.
Always action when Imran Joseph, whether he's at the crease or whether he has ball in hand. As a guy that has very strong belief and conviction in himself. This time.
Yeah, well, a short rising delivery.
Well, not out, says the umpire, so maybe didn't get any bat onto it. Maybe
Looks
coming off
more-
the shoulder.
Looks more like the shoulder. Yeah, looks more like the shoulder.
It didn't look so guilty. And, well, he's given, it seems.
Oh, he's giving him out.
Yes, he did look out. He did look very out. So, one of the Andrew is gone. Kelly's Andrew, who is gone.
Well, it's interesting because for a moment,
Look at it again. Yeah, there must have been some bat there.
might have been maybe bat and then a little bit of shoulder and the catch taken. So, Nutmeg Warriors, they've lost another wicket. Over number 6, 77 for 4.
Again,
And
another
Joseph has
very
picked up 2
well
for him.
directed
Yeah.
bouncer.
Well bowled. He's picked up 2 very important wickets. So Warriors having another setback. But the scoring rate is good. It's almost 14. And with another 4.2 overs to go, I think they still will want to be positive, Justin.
Indeed, they would want to. But how quickly things can change in these games where add 2 more wickets to the total, and it's a totally different game we're looking at.
So John Olive will, the new batsman, take strike. Short rising delivery right onto the body area. Just had to pull out the line.
That's good bowling by Joseph, though.
Very good.
He's aggressive and he's there. He isn't spraying it around too much.
Yeah, seemed to be a thinking cricketer.
But his experience now, he's played a lot of cricket all around. He's been in the T10s in St. Vincent and the Grenadines, so he has been around. That
Right up in the block hole, well bowled, really well bowled. Though they got a single, but he really has to dig deep and clip it out. So Javan Andrew has not been having much of a strike. Now he's only faced 13 deliveries, so he has not been given the strike very much, and that could be something of a negative for the Nutmeg Warriors.
Of course. And 2 for 11, 2 for 12 at the end of his spell. That's really good bowling in the circumstances in a T10 game. And the rate just dropping incrementally in the last 2-3 overs. They were at one point they were up to 16 runs and over. That's gone down now to 13.
This is where Andrew got to take control. He is there from the start. He's been there from the start. So he's 24. This has to be his moment. Struck down to the extra cover area. Gets a single. Brings did he get the single?
Big wide.
Yeah, no, that's going to go all the way to the boundary. Before, let's see what the umpire would say. Wide. Yes. Four wides. Well, of course, will turn up to be 5.
Dylan Douglas just losing it there a bit. Very, very wide, not giving the keeper even a chance of cutting it off.
Turned up to mid-wicket. Now they're puzzled for 1. The keeper is after it. They're going to come back for it second. No, they decided against it. Aborted the idea. They did go for the first run quickly. Thought about the second. Started, stopped. And in the end, allowed discretion to prevail. Olive now comes back into strike. It's that down the ground. Down to long on. Will get a comfortable single. They certainly will want to get to about 121, 25 here. Shot outside the arm stump. Cuts well behind square. That's 4. Use the pace very well. Use the angle well. Open the face. And that was a very nice shot. And yielded 4 runs. Well done, Andrews. Now gone to 29 of 15. As I said earlier on, he's got to see himself responsible here.
That was an amazing shot. Really amazing shot. Probably at first I thought you were looking to whip it through the onside.
Yes. Well, lovely. Lovely. He's certainly motoring on now. You can see confidence exuding from his body. And he's allowing his bat to do the talking here. He's gone very quickly to 33 of 16. Almost 200. Well, yeah, just over 200 is his strike rate. Outside the off stump. Cuts well. 4. Beautiful. Outside the off stump, short. Got on top of it and he really hit it hard. And he is really motoring on now, is Andrew. And the Nutmeg Warriors, they're inching to that 3 figure total. They're 98 for 4, 7 overs gone.
Yes, and a really poor over there by Douglas. Eddie, how you look at it, a really poor over. He's all over the place. He was too short, he was too full, he was too wide, and conceding 20 runs in the over. And this has brought the rate back up to 114, and a predicted score for 140, probably 130. If they go to Wella, probably more than that.
Yeah, well, I did say earlier on, you really shouldn't be dismissed, though. You're getting under 100 runs in this 2020, this 10-10 format.
So the captain has brought himself on. All right. Normally, keep things fairly tight.
Just a single. The old veteran Narayan. It's not going anywhere at all.
No, not at all.
Justin is not going anywhere. These guys are so passionate about the game. Love what they do.
Of course, you would know that they would have come from that small village, Redmond. That's close. Getting some bat onto it.
They're going to get a bit of overthrow here. Yeah, so they do come back for a second run.
Can't fault the fielder for look. It was a close single. It was a well-judged single in the end. Just no one really backing up at the moment.
I believe in putting pressure on the fielder. Scamper. Let him take his eyes off it. If he loses composure, loses balance, can run past him. Clipped down to the fine leg area.
So isn't that leg bites again? Yeah, probably. Well, it didn't go pretty 4 runs, in fact. So getting some bat on it, but it's a good length delivery from 9. Looking to be right up there. I think the dangerous pastor in bowling that length is that if the batsman get any bat onto it, it will go fine. But the field at the moment is pretty wide. The fine leg is wide. And once it goes past the short fine leg area, it will run away for 4.
Yeah, that's why you just got to be careful not to be strained on the leg side. Slow ball. Nicely bowled. And Andrew was through with the shot before the ball had passed. 2 more deliveries remaining. It's an opportunity for Andrew to get a half century here. His team is 105 for 4. He's contributed 41 to those runs. Makes a little bit of room and pushes the ball out to extra cover, gets a single. So 1 more delivery coming up in the 8th over. It's been a good over though.
Yes, so far. Just can end strong.
Yes, hits that down to long up area and gets a single. So that completes 8 overs. 2 more to go. It's 107 for 4. Nutmeg Warriors.
Yes, and a very good over in the circumstances by the veteran Mike Narayan. Just keeping it simple. Just did have the batsman deceived a few times with some change of pace, which you need to do at this stage in the innings when batsmen are looking to go very hard. And 104, we're probably looking in somewhere in the range of 130.
I would think so. You've got 2 overs and you don't want to get less than 20 from those 2 overs. I think you're right. I think 130 is going to be a pretty good score. So they've got to target about 10 or 12 per over in these last 2 to secure that sort of total.
Walcott has come in.
There he is to Andrew. Andrew is looking to heave that over log on. Let's make contact.
A good stop by the wicketkeeper having the diver to his left. Maybe the batsman did get an inside edge, but it went quickly to his left. I bowled him. Well, hit the top of the stump, and he managed to hit the top of leg stump this time, with one which angled in sharply to
Olive.
and in fact to Andrew. And Andrew looking to swing it away on the onside. And yes, it was to Olive. Yeah, and Olive looking to swing it away on the onside and not making contact and losing his leg stump. So
looked a little ungainly though.
in fact, it's that's what. But again, it's what wickets can do at this stage. Wickets now can just slow the rate a bit, and that's what they want. Maybe that could be the difference between 130 and 120.
Yeah, those little differences are what can determine the outcome of a match and the difference between a victory and a loss. So the Warriors 107 for 5. Blasters would want to keep them under that 120. If they do, then they could feel that they did a pretty good job at the back end.
Belfont, though, hit it a long way too, so it will be left to be seen if he can really keep the rate of scoring.
Wide signal by the umpire. That was just too far outside the off stump. Benjamin having to stretch across to his left to collect. And you want to be giving away extras here. No, not at this crucial time of the innings. Well, he has hit that one down the ground and it's gone for a carriacou hit maximum. 6 runs. It was rather nonchalant because at first it didn't look as though it will go all the way, but it certainly did. Meant that it was well timed.
Yes, I did tell you, he does hit it a long way.
Oh, well played, Belfont. This time is short, rising, pull back in length, and tucks it down in front of the square, gets a single. Maybe thought about the second one, but Andrew was not interested, and quite rightly too.
The projected score at this point is 133, with 8 legal deliveries left.
And that, of course, is if we're looking at it sequentially.
No more gifts.
Yeah. What about wides or no ball?
But they would say that they would have given all the gifts away to mommy at Sunday.
Yeah, it was Mother's Day.
Yes,
Sunday gone, wasn't it?
It was Mother's Day.
Hold him. Andrew goes. Good delivery, right up. And he was looking to heave that maybe through the onside and didn't make contact. Bale spattered. And so Warriors have lost another wicket.
Well, yeah, of course, that's the way, as we said, to really to stem the tide and to really peg them back, pick up wickets. And so far, Walcott has picked up 2 for 8 so far. So he can finish strongly again, though he was struck for 6 in one of the deliveries. He did manage to bowl in the midst of a still a very good over in the circumstances.
I just talk about Mother's Day. Your mom is.
Yeah, she's out in the United States of America.
Yeah.
So
Had any contact with her yesterday?
On Sunday evening.
You did. Very nice. Mothers.
I have to say we're always in regular contact.
Very nice.
Speak to each other.
Yeah.
Haven't seen her though probably in the better part of a decade.
That's quite a long time. I think I'm a bit more blessed than you,
Yes,
Justin.
I think you are.
I see my mother every day.
Oh, right.
Because I live just about 50 yards from where she lives.
And You wouldn't admit that she still tried judo.
Oh, she does. Yeah. She respectfully chides me.
Okay.
And very often I'd say, yeah, okay, Mom,
Yeah, yeah.
I take your word.
You're still her child.
Oh, yes, yes. I am, rather.
Yes. So the end of over number 9, they end up with 115 for 6. And I tell that I've pulled things back quite considerably in the last couple of overs.
Yeah,
One going for 7, one going for 8, and picking up wickets.
Yeah, they've done well. The back end, Warriors 115 for 6 with a run rate of 12.78. Don't forget, at one time they'd gone up to almost 16. And they've just redeemed themselves a bit here, Bayleaf Blasters. So this is the final over coming up. Bowled by Walcott, who's at a good return so far, 2 for 8. Oh, sorry, it'll be Narayan. Beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Walcott had 2 for 8. Narayan is.
I think Narayan will have gone for about 7 in his first over.
Yes.
That was quite tidy, and it's probably one of the reasons why they have managed to just pull things back a bit. And he's bowled him. Well, once again, Belfont going for a big one down the ground. And Narayan, too tricky, too experienced for that.
Must have said something to him on his way back.
In fact,
All in good spirits, I dare
yes.
say.
Well, they both play for St. Mark, so they know each other very, very well, and would have played quite a lot in the parish of St. Mark against each other, practice together. So, know each other's move, but somebody has to get the better of someone. Today is Narayan, maybe tomorrow it would be Belfont.
Yeah, but 115 for 7 would suggest a bit of a falling apart.
Indeed, it did fall back.
But the old-fashioned cricketing cliche suggesting that runs on the board are runs on the board, and the opponent got to chase it down, and so many things can happen in a run chase.
Right, so we have 2 young men at the wicket there. Enoch 2 Saint, and that looked like Philip. Well, we'll wait to see who it is who has come in. Look like Philip. We'll wait as here is Narayan.
Dot ball.
Francis, in fact, yes, Francis. Tyrus Francis. He does like to drive, and I know his eyes will open up when sees one pitched up. In fact, as I look across, his father is just somewhere in the crowd. Look, in fact, his on the phone is trying to take a good shot of him.
Lifts that down to the long on area and gets a single. So they've got to finish strong here, Nutmeg Warriors, and they got just 3 deliveries to do that. They must be thinking about the boundary here. Of these last 3 deliveries, a boundary is necessary, so they want to think about at the end 120 probably.
He'll take it anyhow it comes.
Just a single though.
So difficult to get away this Micah Narayan. Lots of experience behind him.
There's nothing better than experience. It's a great teacher. What a delivery. What a wonderful delivery. It might well be, in my opinion, the delivery of the match. Yes, Andrew got one that hit him on the head.
Yeah.
But this was a nicely disguised slow delivery, and he had gone through the shot, and the ball hadn't arrived as yet.
Who tell me that don't hear of him?
What a dismissal that. Outfoxed him.
Totally. But it's a really good spell, whatever happened from here on. 2 for 9 so far, one delivery to go. I mean, it has really pulled that game back. The last 2-3 overs has pulled it right back. And even if they get to 120, 121, I think Blasters will feel that, they have done a relatively good job coming to the end of the game. And I still think Bassett goes back again to that dismissal of Fletcher. That was so crucial.
Because he was going. He really was on the charge when he was dismissed, caught behind. A good catch by Benjamin. So this is going to be the final delivery of this innings.
So that's Josh Thomas. Look like.
Oh, hold him! Gone! Oh my God, Micah Narayan, you can't ever leave him out. So he has picked up 3 for 9. Yes. Wonderful spell of bowling. Nutmeg Warriors, 117 for 9. 117 for 9. And of 10 overs. And it's been a great comeback by Bayleaf Blasters.
Yes, and a replica of what we saw from the other very experienced pro on the field. That's Nilan Pascal this morning, 3 for 9. And Micah Narayan probably would have replicated that now today. And certainly it's been a great end, a good end. And it's normally said, Pastor, that momentum usually goes with the team who ends well.
That's what it said, but this great old game of cricket, they call it one of glorious uncertainties you could never tell.
Yeah.
But it's 118 for 9 Nutmeg Warriors. Of their 10 overs, Bayleaf Blasters will want to come and see if they can blast the way past that 118. So they need 119 to win in 10 overs. Can they do that? Well, certainly we'll be here to bring you and describe the run chase. Who's going to win? Let's wait and see. We'll be right back. Bayleaf Blasters, as we welcome you back, need 119 of 10 overs. Nutmeg Warriors falling away a bit in the end. They got to 118 for 9 of 10. And the Bayleaf Blasters, they'll be intent on chasing that down. Now, can they do that? Justin Hector would predict.
I want to say anything can happen, but I think whatever going to happen, it should make for a very interesting finish here. Of course, the Bayleys, the Bayleys Blasters, they have some pretty good batters in their ranks. So I think they would certainly give it a very, very good effort. They really make a very great effort at it.
What should be the approach here, Justin, in chasing down this 119?
Chasing 119, you'll have to think that it will be difficult to contain Bayleaf, probably the Bayleaf batsmen, if they're on song this evening, in that interval, to stop them from getting that 119 runs based on the resources that they has. But again, early wickets, I think, will have to be the way to go for the Nutmeg. And it's left to be seen if they can achieve that. We've seen early wickets in most of the games so far today,
Thomas having a big, Thomas, of course, bringing it way outside the off stump and big swing at that one. It may have been a little bit of away movement after the ball touched down. Ball going into the keeper's grasp.
I think that way, well, Benjamin would have the license really to throw the bat at it. Teddy probably would be a little bit more sedate.
They've got to go hard, though. In the air, and the hit through the offside. The ball holds up just inside, and they will come back for the second run. I don't think he cued that very well. Probably wanted to lift that much harder. There's Benjamin. Didn't time it all that well, but at least got two. There's Josh Thomas. Oh, this is going to be close. It's going to be close.
That is out. He
Well, can't believe this. Now, let's look at it. Wrapped him on the pad. Now, Teddy Bishop started to come. And, oh my golly, Benjamin was going and then reached to the point of almost no return. The underarm return came in. Bales dislodged. Now, that is suicidal. No. That really is. Look at where the ball is. Even if Bishop made a few exploratory steps down the track, the ball was in sight.
It was still in front of him.
In front of him. So I really would chide Benjamin there for attempting that single. Really shouldn't have gone.
No.
Hey, the bowler isn't on this follow through. The ball is just about 7-8 yards in front of you. No way you should be thinking about going for a single. And again, sequentially, another wicket falls in the first over.
That's exactly what we were talking about, you know. But it was really good thinking and good by the bowler to never give up. He kept charging for the ball, and all this time, the batsman was approaching the point of no return, and he made sure that he hit the wicket with a throw almost side on.
Yeah, kept his composure well.
Yeah.
Didn't take his eyes off the ball. How important that is. Well, Bayleaf Blasters, not a good start. They're 2 for 1. Delivery down the leg side. Wide signal by the umpire. Keeper had to go a long way across to his right. Andrew had a very good knock. Didn't get a half century, but was highly responsible for the final total of 118 scored by Warriors.
Cut.
Good delivery right up in the block hole. And Kotoy came heavily down on it, pushed it up to mid-off and collected its first run. So he's off the mark. We're still in over number 1, bowled by Josh Thomas. Blasters 4 for 1. 2 deliveries remaining in this over.
Recent time we've seen Josh Thomas struggle a bit in the local tournament with his control, which seems to be in much better rhythm today.
Moves into Bishop. Bishop is looking to drive at one that is a bit outside the off stump. Doesn't make contact.
Because I think there was a lateral movement. It was a good delivery. It was not there for the drive, and it was shipping away from the right-hander. And Bishop just stood his ground, really, and had a little wasp at it. And lucky not to take the edge.
There's Thomas. Oh, there's a people caught behind. Gone.
Yes.
Good delivery. One that was short and rising. And Bishop just flayed at it outside the off stump. The ball took an outside edge. Thin edge that. And Bishop goes. Caught behind of the bowling of Thomas. And so Nutmeg, Bayleaf Blasters, they've got another wicket. They've lost another wicket. It's 4 for 2.
Well, yeah. That's interesting again. Wickets early. And batsmen probably not coming to terms with the conditions. There was good bounce. Josh is tall, he's big, as I said earlier, the ball before. Bishop was very lucky. He didn't get a nick onto that one this time. One very much closer to him, making height. Really, the shot was not, no way he could have kept that under control. I don't know what he actually tried to do in the end. Whether he tried to cut or whether he tried to, whatever it is, he was too late on the shot. And probably the ball just clipping the glove and going to be taken by the keeper. But that's not good news for the Blasters.
I think it was a quicker delivery too.
Yeah.
Well, 1 over gone. Blasters 4 for 2. Dylan Douglas comes out to join Kieran Kotoy. And Thomas he was responsible for both dismissals. There was a run out and had the prize scalp of delivery shot, looking to pull Kotoy.
Probably the shot required a delivery that was much faster than that. He was through the shot before the ball got onto him. And the ball just cannoning into the shoulder area.
Yeah, the shot that Bishop played was almost like a nothing shot. Down the track, looking to heave that over long on. Doesn't make contact with the bat. Ball goes out on the onside. The keeper from behind the stumps covers ground rather quickly. He's
Again, you
alert.
have to wonder, struck on the helmet again. That was really not a shot. It just came down the wicket and had a swing. And some bounce available. And 9-1-2 is a tall man. And he took it on the helmet also. Guys, I have to be very careful out there.
That's the second.
Yeah, so I think we'll see this physio.
Second hit on the helmet.
As tough as you think you are, when you're struck on the helmet, you has to go through the protocols.
Yeah, you're right. But all is well that ends well, they say. But no batsman wants to be struck, even if he has the helmet. It's almost like a psychological challenge after that. Will the bowler drop another short one? So no batsman really gets it thoroughly out of his mind. do they, Justin?
No, they don't. And I thought Cotter was just a little bit rash, having lost 2 wickets. And the 2 shots he attempted really was quite a bit rash. It's still a fairly new ball. There's some pace on, there's some bounce out there. As we noted, in fact, from the first inning, we noted that there was some bounce, and the batsmen just not making the adjustment, it seemed, to the condition.
I like the idea that some of these fast bowlers are dropping some of them rather short, allowing them to rise and rear at the batsman, just to challenge and question their batsmanship. So I like that, really. You know, to have a game played without aggression and without somebody having to jerk the head out of the way from a bouncer, that's not cricket. There must be a certain level of aggression with which the game must be played.
Just looking at the batsmen out there, they seem like they don't really want to be out there.
So, Belfont to Kotoy. Here he is. Bowls. Kotoy turns that neatly down behind the square. And they get a single.
Much more in control. Deliver on the body and just turns it away down towards backward square and pick up that single. I think at this stage that's what they need to do. It's really about rebuilding. It's about setting a decent launching pad. It doesn't matter what the rate is at the moment. You can always make it up at the back end.
Yeah, it's just 3.33 now, which looks a little sad and dismal. But it's early days because it's just over number 2. A few hefty blows can turn that tide around. Just like the natural tide of the seas, sometimes you got north tide and within a short time it turns into south tide. You would know much about the sea, don't you, Justin?
Yes, of course.
Here is Belfont. Ball pitched on up about the leg stumper. Down the leg stump, leg side, and looking to turn that. No signal from the umpire, so got a nick onto it. Over number 2 in process. In the progress, ball by Belfont. Just 2 runs he has conceded so far into his first over. Short rising delivery, turns down to forward square and results in a single. So they're keeping things rather tight here, Nutmeg Warriors. Bayleaf Blasters having a challenging start. They're under a very tight leash. Short delivery, looking to pull. Doesn't make the kind of contact wanted to. The over comes to an end, 2 overs gone, and it's 7 for 2, Bayleaf Blasters.
Of course, again, delivery short and going across the right-handed batsman and looking to pull. The type of shot he could have just probably also get a nick on to the keeper. So they have to shot selection is very, very important. And we have to, there's some questionable, I want to say not necessarily shot selection, but decisions on the part of the batsman that would have caused a wicket or 2 to fall so far. But again, looking a little bit uncomfortable. Delivery just on or around the hip area and almost doubling up as he turns it away on the onside and picks up a single. So this brings the right-handed Douglas into strike. Patoy goes to 4, is 4 from 6. What will continue considered to be very, very slow in terms of T10 rate of scoring. Scoring less than a run a ball, having to chase close to 15 runs and over.
Cuts and cuts well.
Yes, gone all the way. So Douglas has managed to get one over the boundary. And it's 6 more to him, a delivery shot outside the off stump by Thomas. So giving him all the freedom and a good shot. He got himself into a very good position and was able to hit it up, get up and under, and get it out behind point on the offside for 6.
Carry power hit maximum. Now we talk about go back to that. No, that one was struck very well. They will come back for the second and they get it quite comfortably in the end. Of course, Bayleaf aromatic plant used multi-purposely. You use it just in
I look at my shelf this morning and I couldn't imagine that I had so much Bayleaf on my shelf.
Bayleaf.
I never do without it.
Oh, so you'll
All my cooking.
tell our viewers what are some of the things you use Bayleaf for. They go to for a quick single. So what are some of the things you use Bayleaf for?
Well, it's really for what do you call it? Aromatic.
It's an aromatic.
Yes, and in all things like porridges, drinks, seasoning,
Yes.
food of all sorts. Yeah.
So you have a
Teas.
drink. That's correct. So you can
Yeah.
use it as a tea
Yeah, of course, as a tea.
as well as
One teacup every morning.
right.
Yes.
And the other drinks, of course, you can
Yeah.
put it into.
I would have grown up using a lot of Bayleaf because I would have helped my grandma prepare cocoa balls.
Yes, and they were grounded into the
the
cocoa balls. So those of you who are somewhere out there in TV land or YouTube land and you're wondering where the names of these teams come from, they're part of the spices here in the Spiceisle Grenada delivery that he gets inside and whips it and it goes down to the boundary for 4, just straying a little bit outside the leg stump and was onto the back foot rather quickly. His Cotoy swiveled and got it down to the fine leg area for 4. So 3 of us gone. The run rate has climbed a bit. It's now gone to 7, 21 for 2.
Yeah, it doesn't matter where it come from. In fact, it went to the safest part, basically over the head of the keeper almost. And it's one of the safer part of the field if you want to hit the ball, if you can get it there over and over. That's why shots like the scoop has become so popular. Because when you scoop the ball up, it goes directly over the head of the keeper most of the time. And it's more often than not, in fact, 99% of the time, it's about a very safe shot once executed properly.
So the power play has come to an end. Bayleaf Blasters, they are 21 for 2, and they still need a further 98 runs to get in 42 balls. Of course, it's gettable, reachable, achievable, but somebody's got to pick up the tempo. You need a couple of boundaries. I've always said that in T10 cricket, you need, I would think, sort of like 2 boundaries per over.
Of course, nutmeg, another aromatic spice.
Yes. I suspect that that's one of those that you don't do without either.
No.
And nutmeg can be put also in cakes and jams and
ginger,
Yeah.
turmeric. Well, we have saffron here, which
Yes.
is actually called turmeric. Well, maybe it should have been turmeric and not saffron.
And they're all nutrition-wise, they're very good for various aspects of your body. White signaled by the umpire. I think glycerin is one of the ingredients, or properties rather, of nutmeg. One of the predominant crops in Indonesia. It's not as prolific here in Grenada as it was many years ago. And of course, with the advent of Hurricane Ivan back in 2004, where many trees were blown down, uprooted by the violent gale of wind of Hurricane Ivan, push it outside the off stump but doesn't make contact. The ball kept a little bit low, so challenging for the keeper.
We just beaten on the angle a little bit. And of course, the use of turmeric again. I'm sure you can not remember. You could hardly remember the numerous occasions when you would have gone to play and you got your knock and turmeric had been administered to the knocks and everything else.
By the parents, balls hit down to the boundary that's going to run over the boundary line.
Well, for 6, gone all the way in
Did it
fact.
go all the way? It did.
Yes, it did go all the way. So a good hit over. That's the second time we've seen Douglas execute a shot like this, shot outside the off stump, given the room and smash it over extra cover.
Well needed boundary too. Now takes the total to 28. Oh. Wide signal by the umpire.
Short and well over the head of the batsman.
Charles, well, we want to make sure that he follows in the footstep and path of his previous bowlers who have done well. He's into his first 8 runs gone off his bowling, 3 deliveries. Advancing down the track, hits that down to the deep backward square area, pull back just inside. They take only a single. So a couple of batsmen have used their feet and charged the bowlers. That's something you've got to do too, especially in 10-10 cricket. Just offset the bowlers.
So I was asking you, Pastor, did you have to have turmeric administered?
Didn't have much of that back then, I must admit. But there was the old-fashioned corn hooks.
All right.
That the grandparents and mothers used, of course, with Epsom salt. And they would rub that thing, knead it rather, that might be the correct word. And a pain which would be excruciating while being administered. And by the next day, the limp is over.
The corn
I don't
stick.
know how they did it. Yeah, the corn stick, they did it.
Your kids wouldn't know about that though.
No.
Oh, that's a big one. On the
That's
boundary. Oh, well taken, in fact.
Now that we'll have to look at again, but it looks to be a fine catch. Now, if he caught that, and it seemed to me that it was taken cleanly, let's look at it again. Katoy went down the ground, airborne. Now, let's look and see what's happening here. Took the catch while inside. Looked back quickly. Frame of mind, realizes that he's outside, and threw it back up. Went back in and caught the ball. Now, that's a fantastic catch. That is a really good catch.
Well, those skill set are practiced on a daily basis by these players, this modern player, the player.
Look at it again. Look at it. Threw it up. Went back. And it was well taken.
Yes, but you know, it's still a questionable rule, you know, as to whether all the action shouldn't be completed within the circle. I don't know what you think about it. Now it's two action here. Now you're able to take it, you throw it up, you go outside the field, and then you come back in to take the catch. Maybe, you know, it's still a contentious rule.
Yeah, but
Ramdu?
Ramdu, I thought, you know, it calls for a lot of skill and great maturity. And you've got to be composed to do that. If you panic, well, you lose control and you won't take the catch. But he certainly looked back, saw that he was going to go over the boundary line, threw it up, and came back in and took a well-judged catch.
Oh, wow. If that had struck Michael Narayan, probably would have been out.
Yeah. Well, outside the off stump, just dabbed it and began to make a few exploratory steps down the track. And quite rightly went back. Sent back by Douglas. So 4 of us gone. 30 for 3. And with 3 wickets having fallen, I think that's obviously a concern.
Yes, and they need to move on, although they still have Joseph, the likes of Joseph and so on in the hutch, but they need to move on. And they would want probably, if Joseph has to come out, is to probably face 3 or 4 balls to get 10 or so runs. But so far, the Nutmeg Warriors have done a reasonably good job at restricting the Blasters. And probably proven, as I said, to be more aromatic.
So here is the 5th over starting.
So Enoch Toussaint has taken over, and he has gone first delivery out of the ground. So 6 runs it is to Dylan Douglas. Rather rude way to greet Enoch Toussaint.
Yeah, they got to up the tempo here. Required run rate is just under 15. This one is hit down to long on. And
Good hustle down there on the boundary.
yeah, it's got the return back in rather quickly. That's so very important. The release of the ball and how fast you can get it out of your hand. It's critical. Driven up to long on. And they get another single.
Just chipping away. You get
Yeah,
the
so
feeling.
8 runs have come off
Yeah.
this over so far.
Yeah.
They've got to turn that 8 maybe into 10 or 12.
Or double.
Yeah, unsettle the bowler. Don't allow him to get into a groove.
'Cause every time you do not keep up with the rate, it climbs.
Well bowled outside the off stump. Yeah, that's important. In as much as you want to maintain your wicket and guard it with all your might, you've got to also be mindful about that required run rate. Vitally important.
Oh, it's gone right through.
And we'll go over the boundary line. Well, what really should not have been a single, should have been a dot ball.
Yes.
Let's see the
Tyrese Francis will really be
looking to scoop
feel
and
embarrassed
did
by
in
that.
fact.
Went right through the gate.
Oh my golly. Wow, you know what? Enough to annoy any coach. especially if you're a fielding coach.
And even as a player, you want to look for a hole to hide yourself. Almost
That
as
one
bad
goes
as
down to
dropping a
fine leg
catch.
and will be
Very
pulled back
close.
just inside.
Yeah. But they probably will have a look at that. It's very, very close.
Good work, though.
I
Really
think,
good
yes,
work.
but I think the umpire would want to have a look at that. That was very, very close to the rope. So they will have a look. Belfon lumbering there after it, but a cross will come. That's ridiculously close. Where was the left foot? That's the question.
Hard to tell.
Well, he's satisfied that it was clean.
So some 5 overs gone. We're at the halfway stage. And at the end of 5, it's 44 for 3. Bayleaf Blasters.
Douglas is on 30 from 14. So he's striking out about 200. You need somebody else to strike somewhere near that, 150, 200, in order to stay on par, more or less.
Yeah, you can't be thinking at this point, when you're 43 for 3, just about preservation of wickets. No, you've got to be all guns blazing now.
Oh, and that's a big
Like
one.
that. Like that, I think. Like that, I think. Yes, all the way it's gone. Guns blazing. Just suggested that. And he went right under that one, Narayan, and lifted it high and hard and handsome for another carriacou hit maximum 6 runs. Well played by the veteran. 50 has come up in 5.1 overs. Can he go again? This time gets into the line and tickles it down to fine leg. So that's 4.
So
Diving effort there on the part of the keeper, Andrew. Look how he got inside the line. Yeah. He got a hand to it,
yes.
but just seemed to parry it further. Andrew made a meal of that one. Should have taken it.
Yes, he was far enough away from him that he couldn't get his glove behind or under the ball. Whichever way, it would have been an amazing catch had he managed to hang on to it.
What would he do with this one? This time he pulls down to backward square.
4 more.
It's going to go all the way for 4. Got inside the line. It was short. And Narayan pulled it. Went quickly. Down to the boundary for 4. He's gone very quickly to 15 of 5. And this is turning out to be a very expensive over here by Charles. Narayan showing his skill. The veteran.
Yes, it was one straight down for 6, then it was one which was tickle fine, and another one being behind square on the onside.
What would he do now? Here he is. Pushes that out.
No, well, he didn't show it. Just opening the face of the bat and wanting a single.
So it was a dot ball.
Yes. You get the feeling that, with the fielder just on the edge of the circle, probably there is always a single when the ball is played towards them. Where the non-striker Douglas didn't move.
In the air. Somebody's going under it.
Safe, fallen
Safe.
And of course, the Spiceman right down in front of us here. Couldn't get around. Neither could Francis have gotten around.
And dropped somewhere in the middle of both of them.
So some action, some impetus being given there by Narayan. Really needs somebody to take the bull by the horn, more or less. Steered away again on another piece of misfield, and they will get a single.
So Narayan keeps strike. 6 gone. 61 for 3.
17 in the over, and that's exactly what is needed.
So they would need another big over here, Justin. They need to get maybe about 14, 15 here. But the task is going to be a monumental one.
Yeah.
Just 4 overs to go. And Bayleaf Blasters, they've done a bit of redemption, but they still require some 58 in the next 4 overs. And they're scoring at 10.17. Fletcher is going to come in to bowl a bit of leg spin.
Douglas haven't had a strike for a while. He's on 30 from 14, and that was a long time ago.
I think this is going to be exciting.
A crucial stage too with the Spice man, who you know can really keep it very tight.
Here's his first ball. Down the track. And,
may have gotten away that one to a bit. It was a full toss. It
Yes.
was down the leg side. And Narayan didn't quite get hold of it.
yeah, you really should have put that one away. You may not get many others like that when you get the full toss on the leg stump. Got to make best use of it.
Again. So we'll get 5 for that.
Well, just wait to see what the umpire
Wide,
suggests.
it's
Why?
wide. Yes, was wide down the leg side. And very smartly, you know, Douglas just allowed it to go when he saw it down the leg side.
Oh.
And the keeper probably was unsighted, blinded by the movement. And
Might have just went between his legs.
no, it went on the outside of the pad, and the keeper, it really went between himself almost and the keeper.
Yeah,
Right.
so
Smart.
wide.
Full toss again, but that has gone straight up. Where has it gone? Yes, it has gone straight up, and a good catch in the end by the old man, Olive.
I think he's so relieved about
Yes,
that, really.
John Olive. You almost went too far underneath it, but would they look at height there, because it was pretty close to the belt, to the
Yeah,
waist.
I think it was just under. Good catch.
Leaning backward.
Good catch. Really good catch.
Yeah. Though
Didn't
grabbing-
look like dropping it, I
No,
must
though grabbing
admit.
the back of his hamstring. So 4 down. And Fletcher has picked up his wicket. And the important wicket of Douglas. Again with a delivery which should have been put away.
Yeah, Olive may not have had the best body posture for that catch, but the important thing is that he kept his eyes on the ball,
Well,
and then he did cup it with rather soft hands.
here is the game now. Andre Fletcher to Imran Joseph. They've had the battles out there before.
I think
they
it'll be
go
fun.
there.
They've picked each other.
Yes, of course. And
And even during the interval,
Yeah.
they did
Yeah.
shared some words
Yes,
with each other. And I
yes.
must admit, folk, don't worry.
And from all previous tournaments, they have had their moments. So there couldn't be a better moment.
And
But
it's not bad blood, mind you.
No. It's just, yeah. The last word Imran Joseph said to Andre Fletcher before he goes, you say, go there. You see what you're trying to, what was the word again?
I didn't get it.
Yeah, as if to say, you're trying to psych us out. And that would be interesting. And this here could be the game, because if Imran Joseph stay around for any length of time, we know he will scope very, very, very quickly.
Now, who's going to have the last say here?
They want to back the man that has 10 other men around, and including the umpire.
Fletcher to Joseph.
Oh, he has hung on to one. First one. That's gone all the way.
Oh, my golly. And he hit it nonchalantly.
Yeah.
Great shot. Great shot. I think we're going to enjoy this, won't we?
Yes.
Pulled it down, lifted it easily over the whitish long on area. And it went for a carry power hit maximum.
And you can hear the crowd, Pastor, because everyone on the ground knows that little rivalry between Imran Joseph and Andre Fletcher. So the crowd are into it.
Yeah.
And it won't be long before they probably has a slight exchange between the both of them.
I don't think they're going to have much to do with each other at this moment. There's Joseph just talking with Narayan, and Narayan might be telling him as the older statesman, look, a lot depends on both of us. We can make this. The required run rate is just under 14. And if we can have a couple of boundaries, rotate the strike, and keep our head on, then it is quite workable.
Yes, so probably trying to tell him, don't let him get into your head. Because he did complain before he got that Fletcher was trying to get into his head already. Well, if he hasn't yet, he has to be careful that he don't. This one went probably out of the arena into the river area.
So it might be a new ball.
Yes.
Yes.
They'll have a change of ball.
Fletcher
For the sake of the match, it would be nice to see a few more of those. Fletcher is just toying with him, like, just threw this one up.
Yeah, interesting. The first one was short.
No,
This time he
no, the
decided,
exchange. It must be.
decided to throw it up.
Yeah.
Faster delivery, well bowled. But just nudged down to backward point. Quicker one with the arm.
But Fletcher is a very intelligent bowler, though, too. Yeah. He does have the knack of picking up wickets, full toss, which he couldn't again get under. It was quicker. And flat. Just couldn't get under it, 9. So I think a good over by Fletcher, though. 14 runs from it, 1 wicket.
7 overs gone. Bayleaf Blasters, they're 75 for 4. So they need 44 of 18.
That will really take some getting.
Sure,
As
right.
I said, the game is out there. Imran Joseph, that's the game. He's the one that can hit the ball out of the ground at will.
I would love to see this come down to the wire. I think it'd be fun. We need a bit of fun in the commentary
yes,
booth,
we do.
don't we? Yeah, a good cricket match is one that is a thriller, one that's got twists and turns, unpredictability in nature, but one that generates a great deal of excitement, especially coming to the back end of the game.
And sometimes with 1 ball to go, you still don't know who would win.
Yeah.
But you don't always, it don't happen too often, though. Not very, too often you'll find that. But when it does,
Always be a thriller.
Well, fun is back.
Blasters, 74 for 4. Over number 8 now. Looking to swing that out of the ground, does make contact. Good move, I think, with Belfon coming back into his second over. Had a very good first over. And the left arm seamer coming from over the wicket, maybe seeking to angle it across the right-handed batter.
oh, this is very wide.
Yeah, that was really sprayed wide outside the off stump. I think the intent is to try and ask the batsman to reach for it. But when it's that wide, there's no need for the batsman to go after it. It'll be a wide, and batsman has an opportunity to, again, to get another ball bowled up at him. Well bowled, really well bowled.
Just losing his shape there. Which is not something you always associate with Mike and Narayan. Usually very cool, calm, calculated type of a cricketer, but
Yeah, and sometimes when it's short outside the off stump and angling away, it might be better to use the uppercut rather than trying to pull through the onside. It's much more difficult to try to pull against the tide.
Another good short ball. It's one for the over, probably the, yes. Umpire indicating you always have that luxury of producing that one for the over to just keep the pressure on.
I like that. I think it was a good aggressive delivery. Yes, he may not be able to repeat that, but he got a dot ball. I thought that was very good thinking. Really bent his back. Well bowled. In the air, lives that.
It's
Oh,
gone.
it's gone for another big hit. Carriacou hit maximum, gone all the way. Did he get a hand to it? We'll see this on the
I don't
replay.
even think he got a hand to it. That looked like Francis out there. You see? Yes, he did.
Yeah.
Right through the bucket.
Yeah, should have taken it.
So the young man will have to, now Fletcher just asking him to go on the inside, and maybe the Spice man will go there himself.
Should have been taken.
And just seeing his father walking across the ground, he wouldn't be too proud of him at all.
At all, no.
You would remember Von Francis, yeah? Former
Yes.
national bodybuilder. Yes. I don't think he knew that was his son, though.
No, absolutely not.
Up in the air. Somebody's getting on it, or is it going to clear everyone? It's clearing everyone, and it's bounding away towards the boundary, and it gets there.
Well, well, well. Didn't cue it all that well. Went behind the keeper. Keeper was running back. Couple of the fielders trying to converge. And the ball gets over the boundary line. Thomas really going after it. No one can pull it back. Production. 4.
Still managed to have gotten 11 so far in the over. So they can still repair the damage of the previously 4 deliveries. Short outside the off stump and cracked away for another boundary.
No, that was a fine shot. That was an absolutely gorgeous shot. Stepped out to meet it. To look how he went across there. And then delayed, waited, and hit that over the squarish cover area. And it went very quickly across the turf for 4. That was a delightful shot. Hit with great power, great authority. And his body position was so good. 8 overs gone. It's 90 for 4.
Game on.
Well played, Narayan. He's
Game on.
34 of 17.
17. After 4 deliveries, they only had a single in the over. But they certainly pulled it right back. 29 in 12. Gettable?
It is. But here's what has to happen in this penultimate over. The required run rate is 14, just about 14 and a half. Now what they would want to do is to get at least 16 in this over, because they don't want 14 in the last 6. So they would need to get about 16. If they do, then the last over will be, I would say, a touch easier. Anything under 10 in this over is going to be challenging for them.
And that's the matchup there. Joseph against Fletcher. Real mouth-watering matchup.
Well,
He's gotten a single from the first delivery.
Might have been a little bit disappointed with that. Maybe he didn't cue it all that well.
Now that's the over that can win or lose the game for one of these teams.
Tucks that one, just down to fine leg, lost his shape in the process.
Deceived by a slower one.
Yeah, so 2 runs from 2 deliveries. They want more than that. They need a boundary here. They just need a boundary. This is very important, whether it's a 6 or a 4. Bad delivery, down to fine leg. That's going to go all the way for 4. It was a bad delivery by Fletcher. He's got only himself to be blamed there. Slanting down the leg side on the full.
Yes.
And he whipped it down to fine leg for 4. So a welcome boundary here. They need another one. It was a real gallant effort on the part of Andrew to cut it off, but it was traveling much too quickly before it passed him.
So wide down the leg side. Ah, and he hung on
It's
to
that.
this one.
Where has that gone? Has it gone all the way? Did it?
You get the feeling that when it hits, it stays hit. It went all the way for 6. So far, bragging rights to Imran Joseph.
Another carry par hit maximum. Did go all the way. The required run rate is 12.75. So that's what I was saying to you, Justin. You want your last over, that final over, to be somewhere around 10 or 12. So this delivery coming up, or these two are crucial. Shorter.
Whoa.
Oh, that goes behind the keeper. And they get one. I don't think they'll come back for the second. No, they don't. It was a faster, flatter delivery from Fletcher. They get one. So they need 17 runs from 8, seven now, 7 legal balls. This one has to go to the boundary.
So that has to be a free hit pass. Micah has to go for a boundary.
Down the track,
Yes.
lifts it down to the long off,
6.
long on area, and it's gone all the way, hasn't it?
Yes, it's gone for 6. It had to have gone for 6.
Another carry par hit maximum. 6 runs. He advanced down the track, got it and lifted it over the long on area, took the aerial route and went all the way, clubbed it for 6. Oh. Now this is a fantastic game. I think they read it right. They really read it right. So your last over, you need to get 10. That's critical. You've got sufficient wickets in hand. So wickets, I don't think is an issue. Although, quite frankly, that Nutmeg Warriors, if they can pick up and prize out a wicket here, it's just going to throw them back a bit. But with some 10 runs to go,
And the inexperienced Toussaint to bowl the last over.
10 runs, 6 balls to get there. I would want to think here, although this game is a game of glorious uncertainty, that Bayleaf Blasters, they're right in that slot to pull off what would be a stunning victory here. So, Joseph is taking strike. Can he keep his cool, maintain composure? What's going to happen with this first delivery? 10 needed of 6. Everyone on their toes. Micah Narayan has called down Joseph as if to say to him, keep your cool, you can't be dismissed. No matter what happens, you've got to remain there, and we've got to bring this team home. Keep your composure. If it's there for the hit, go big. If it is a good ball to be respected, then do that. But whatever happens, we can't afford to lose a wicket. That might well be what was said, paraphrased.
And Joseph has to know that he can hit a 6 at any time. He's that strong, he's that good.
Toussaint, to Joseph, outside the all-stop, hits that in
Well,
the air,
gone.
that's gone over the
4.
boundary for 4. Goes over. So your first delivery phase, Joseph hit that slightly inside out, airborne for quite some time. But the important thing for him is that there were 2 bounces before going over the boundary line. First delivery 4, 6 runs.
1 hit
needed
away.
in 5 balls.
1 hit away.
Yeah. There is no way that Bayleaf Blasters should lose this now. He looks as composed as ever. As composed as a feline or species that is ready to pounce on an unexpected prey. Lives that again, just to the right of the fielder. And good stop. Because if that had gone past, it really would have resulted maybe in 2.
Or 4.
Or 4, but restricted just to the single. So 5 required of 4 balls.
Of course, Andrews now has taken one of his glove off because he will probably expect the scramble and want to throw the stumps down quickly.
Micah
Narayan struck on
turns
the
that.
pad and they go through for the single.
So
Still one hit away.
114 for 4. We did say early on how much we wanted a thriller.
We've gotten it.
Yeah, you're right. We've gotten a thriller. Partnership worth 48 of 19. Here is Toussaint. Enoch Toussaint.
Lots of pressure on that young man.
Sure right. They need simply 4 runs of 3 balls.
As a bowler myself, it's the one over you don't want the captain to put the ball in your hands for when it comes down to that.
You're right.
You wish you could hide from the captain. The captain can see you to give you the ball. Hands are sweating.
Dot ball. Dot ball. They take a single. Would there be a run out here?
Yes, there
Oh,
is.
I think he's gone. I think he's gone.
That is really not smart.
Oh, interesting that Joseph has run out. Now he tumbled over. That's Toussaint. The keeper got the ball, sent it back to him. When he got the ball, he was on his backside, but he still had the frame of mind just to flick it over and connected with the wicket. And boy, the bails was spattered. And what an anticlimax here. Let's look at it again. Good work by Andrew. Sent it to the bowler who just flicked it on. And wicket broken before Joseph could get there. And he grimaced emotionally. What a match we've got here.
But I don't think it was totally smart because he can finish that in any one delivery.
I thought too that maybe Andrew may have gone straight for the stumps. He elected to send it to Toussaint, who flicked it onto the stumps. It turned out to be well, but what was the more prudent thing to do? Was it to aim for the stumps? Then there wasn't anybody backing up. So probably it was the right thing.
Yeah.
All is well that turns out well.
Game awareness. Andrew took his glove off from the beginning of the over. Especially for that purpose, that reason.
And it worked out well.
And it's finished.
Oh, it's gone. It's going. Yes, it's gone. That's 6. That's a Carib par hit maximum. And so the Bayleaf Blasters, they've won this game. What a wonderful game this is. Cricket has won. Nutmeg Warriors can feel, well, we had this in our hands and it drifted away from us. Bayleaf Blasters, they've won by 5 wickets. And what a wonderful performance. I think started with Joseph, augmented with Narayan, and then came the final big hit, 6 runs. What a wonderful match we've had.
Well, I don't think there's any question as to who the man of the match is. Micah Narayan basically pulled the Bayleaf team from a precarious position with his bowling, picking up 3 for 10 when he bowled. And to have made 48 not out, hitting the final ball for 6. Well, we can safely say that's the man of the match. But it was a really fine game. Well calculated chase and everything else. At times it did look a little wobbly, looked like they wasn't going to really challenge too much. But again, in cricket, you just cannot say at any time. After they have lost the Teddy Bishops and so on, they looked like they were going to struggle. They did struggle for a certain length of time. But that partnership between Joseph and Narayan certainly sealed it for them.
And I thought that Narayan brought himself in at the right time. Maybe some felt that he could have been a little lower, but he realized that he needed experience to come to the front. And he did so. And this has been a real marvelous comeback because there was a period when it looked as though Bayleaf Blasters were going to be blasted out by the Warriors. But the blasting spirits of the Bayleaf players took away the sting out of the Nutmeg Warriors. And in the end, They won. It was a thriller. It wasn't a runaway victory, but it was a kind of victory that every team would feel very happy and very satisfied with. And what a way to end day 2 of this tournament. And obviously it sets the tone for matches to follow.
And of course, we know that after the match, the conversation will continue. And of course, Rondell is down there, and he certainly will have Andre Fletcher with him, the Spice Man. Of course, Andre being the losing captain today. And Rondell will take it from us when he's ready.
All right, thank you very much, Hector. I'm here with Andre Fletcher, captain of the Nutmeg Warriors. Fletch, you had a good outing today, a really interesting game. I think this is what the fans are here for. What's your thoughts on the game?
Honestly, we put ourselves in a position where we had to win the game. I still believe we were a full run shot, knowing the start that we got. But having said that, we started off well with the ball. Looking at the game, where I believe maybe we lost the game is in our fielding. We dropped key moments, and as we see, the person that we dropped came back and hurt us. So it's the first game. I guess guys are a bit nervous, so it can't be too hard on them. And it's just for us to come back from the next game going forward.
Yeah, really. I think all the fans, they were really, it's edge of your seat thing. You're looking at assessment, your bowlers. I think, what would you say, in terms of your bowlers and bowling to the plan that you had?
I must say we bowl well. We bowled to our plan. They played some good shots. That's cricket. It's just for us as a fielding unit, we have to back up our bowlers when the chance comes. No one goes out there to do bad. But as I said, I can't be hard on them. It's a newly built team. It's just for us to. And the good thing, we lost one of our key players. And to see that we gave a total that was a bit, I would say, defendable. And bring it down to the last over, I couldn't ask for anything better. Toussaint, putting up his hand. And maybe any day I will still give him that ball, that over to bowl. So it's just for us to brush up on certain things. And once we do that, for sure, we are the defending champions. So we're not defending champions by luck. We won the title twice, and we've been in the finals 4 times. So I'm not too worried.
Well, I know the Nutmeg fans, they will not be worried. Hard luck on today's loss. As you said, it's only one. You have a lot more to go, but as you said, you see some bright spots. So good luck for the rest of the tournament.
He obviously doesn't look crestfallen. Andre Fletcher, captain of the Nutmeg Warriors.
Well, I have here with me the captain of the real property, Bayleaf Blasters. Micah, situation with the ball. You were called to do a walk. You did it with the bat. You came back. You did it. Give me your thoughts on today's game.
First of all, I want to give the Almighty praise. If it wasn't for him, that would not have happened. But honestly, when I get the ball, I just stick to my plan, and I done it. When I went out to bat, I just always keep my eyes on the scope and just keep staying still, and I bring it home. You
had a few early wickets going down. Getting to the wickets, what sort of frame of mind were you in terms of assessing what is needed?
Well, when I went in bat, Dylan was hitting the ball already, so that gave me a little confidence. And when I started hitting it, I just continue and try and take it deep as possible, and in the end, it paid off.
Well, certainly this performance, I believe, will be, and no doubt, a really man-of-the-match performance, 48 not out, and picking up some 3 wickets. Certainly, you must be feeling good. This is your first game. Where does Bayleaf Blasters go from here?
Well, in all, we cannot count on too early. It's all in the tournament. So we just have to take each game as a time and play each game as a final and see how far we could reach in this tournament.
All right, so we are going to have the presentation, and I'm going to keep Micah here because I do believe he will be the man of the match. And so we're going to be having the Minister of Education. He will be here to present the players with their awards. And so, first award to be presented, the Global Series Impact Bowler, and that goes to none other than Micah Narain. His bowling performance really set the tone for his team. Again, the person hitting the most sixes, the Carib power hitter, that also goes to Micah Narain. Congratulations, Micah. And the man of the match for this match, game number 4, Micah Narain, man of the match. All right, so there we had it, the conclusion of the post-match presentation. And we want to say to you, it's been an interesting encounter this final game. We are going to have a lot more thrilling and more exciting cricket to come. So tomorrow promises to be a really good set of matches. So we want you to be with us. We start at 12 noon right here at the Last Just Playing Field. I'm going to go back up to Stevenson and Hector for the wrap.
So Bayleaf Blasters winning by 5 wickets, and Micah Narain taking all the accolades that were offered in this match. It's not very often you see that, but it just tells you what an outstanding player he is. Just in your final thoughts.
I don't think anyone could question the fact that he has taken all the accolades. It has really been a one-man show. I mean, with the ball, as I said, he came on to bowl at a time when Bayleaf really needed someone to bring some sanity to things, to pull things back. He did so. He picked up wickets and he picked them up very economically. When it was time to bat again, he came in at a crucial time, having lost the likes of Teddy Bishops and so on very cheaply. He came in with his team under pressure, and as he said so rightly, he basically just played this situation and he brought it home. And it was just so fitting that he was the one to hit the winning run, which was a 6 to win the game. And probably that was the one that gave him that final 6 that gave him the power hitter prize for the power hitter.
So both teams, of course, playing the first match today, and of course the Bayleaf Blasters coming out on top. It was a thrilling match today. It was a very absorbing game, and tomorrow, God's willing, I think we should expect 2 great matches. So overnight, you probably get a good rest, and then you can join us back here at the Last Just Playing Field for day 3 of this tournament. Thank you for viewing.